Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we're going to finish up with our special guest from the last video and try our hardest not to contract any of the severe brain damage that she obviously has. Hopefully this half of the list will go faster because, as we already saw, she does tend to repeat herself a bit. Though I advise anybody watching to have some aspirin and a drink nearby. If you need to pause to go get that, go ahead. All set? Okay, let's dive right back into the shallow end of the gene pool, shall we?
Because there are dress codes for females at schools. Because, shoulders, thighs, and stomachs are so sexy now, am I right? Ugh!
There are dress codes for boys as well. Hardly a sexist thing. It's a decorum thing. We're trying to teach children to dress in a respectful manner because they will be expected to do that later when they get a job. Unless, of course, you're trying to level another strike against Islam. You're really racking them up against the religion of peace. Feminists really ought to get on that, I guess.
Because women all over the world are sold into prostitution.
While men and boys are sold into hard labor jobs around the world. This is a human rights issue. A human trafficking thing. Not a uniquely female thing, but hey, fuck the men, right? Gotta think of the women's.
Because to some people, men who are using beauty products are automatically gay.
No, they aren't. Hollywood actors wear makeup all the time, along with all kinds of other performers. I doubt anyone is assuming George Clooney or Brad Pitt is gay.
Because women should be able to breastfeed regardless of the location. That is what boobs are for. They're for breastfeeding. I know. Shocking!
Yep, and breast implants, low-cut tops, and push-up bras are meant to advertise to other babies, right? Look, personal opinion, I don't care if you whip them out in public. Do your thing. Just don't get pissed off when I look. Deal?
I'm a feminist because girls who have a lot of sex are sluts and whores. But on the other hand, if you're a boy and you sleep around, you're a fucking legend. Double standards much? No, not at all. I don't. What do you mean?
Oh, the irony of a feminist claiming double standards. Too much. Too much. Okay. I thank you. I needed that. I haven't heard anything that funny in a while. But back to your point. No, I can tell you from my own experience that in my circle of friends, at least, we labeled guys who sleep around a lot as man whores. They weren't legends. The legends are the guys who manage to find and keep one of the good women. Considering the huge number of shitty ones out there, it's quite an accomplishment to find a good one. Even better if you can manage to keep her. Then you're a legend.
Because I'm always referred to as someone's girlfriend or sister or daughter or friend instead of just myself, Eileen, a human being.
By whom? People you don't know? You know what we call that? Learning about you. Part of you is your relationship with others. People want to know those things. I don't, but other people probably do.
Because almost no schools in America allows girls on their football teams.
And why they don't probably never occurred to you, did it? Football players are highly tuned athletes. At the pro level, they are some of the biggest and strongest athletes you're going to find. Now, men on average are bigger and stronger than girls on average, but that disparity becomes even greater when you're talking about the difference between highly tuned athletes. While I'm sure there might be a rare exception out there somewhere, the vast majority of women would simply get killed on a football field. Those guys are big, powerful, and hit like a freight train. They break each other frequently. What do you think's going to happen when a 300-pound pass rusher smashes into a 150 to 180-pound woman traveling at full speed? Exactly. She's going to break. Probably severely, and her career will be over before she even got started. So at most, you're talking about the possibility of maybe a few female specialists, like kickers, punters, maybe even a cornerback if they're really tough. But it's unlikely that women will ever be able to seriously compete with men on a football field.
Because in some parts of the world, women are not allowed to leave their home without their husband.
Oh, you're really hammering away at those Muslims, aren't you? I'm starting to think that maybe you skipped your intersectionality classes.
Because people think that feminism is man-hating.
Gosh, I wonder where they get that idea.
Because in PE, apparently only the macho guys could demonstrate how to do sit-ups. And this didn't happen like once every so often. This happened every single PE lesson of my whole school experience.
I don't know where you went to school, but again, sounds like it's just your school. In my school, boys and girls didn't go to the same PE classes. So girls were showing girls how to do sit-ups. No boys allowed. So either this is bullshit, which it wouldn't surprise me, or it's just your school.
Because boobs are used to sell and promote products. See pictures right here on the screen.
Yep, because, hold on to your knickers here, men like boobs. Shocking, I know. But if you want us to notice something, you put some boobs in the ab, and I guarantee you we'll see it. Also, sex sells, on both sides of the equation. Bare-chested gym rats are used to sell jeans and cologne and other shit too. Think that's meant to appeal to men, or is it to get your attention?
Because apparently shaving is considered optional for men, but mandatory for women.
Body hair, maybe. But I can tell you for my entire life, I've had to shave my face because every job I've ever had requires a clean-shaved face. And even in the case of the body hair, it is optional, you know. Don't shave. No one's making you. You're doing it because you know you're more attractive to men if you do. If you don't care what men think, then don't do it. I suspect you'll keep shaving though, won't you?
I'm a feminist because fuck gender rules.
Yender again. So cute. But, yeah, exactly. Kind of answers your previous point about the made-up gender shit, though, doesn't it? Without gender roles, then we don't need all this made-up gender crap, do we? Because what they're describing are roles, not gender.
Because whenever I am discussing or argumenting about something, whether it's feminism or politics, I always get interrupted. It's always by a male.
Bullshit. First, I don't believe always. No fucking way. Secondly, I absolutely guarantee that more than once, a woman did it.
Because reversed racism doesn't exist and it has never existed.
Well, holy fucking shit. You finally said something that's right. Absolutely. It's just called racism, even when it's against white people.
I'm a feminist because men are pressured into being macho and dominant.
Ever wonder why that is? I'll give you a hint. It's not patriarchy. It's women. Women are attracted to macho and dominant guys. When women get together and decide that what they want are emotional wuss bags, men will become emotionally damaged basket cases. We've seen it before with the whole metrosexual craze. Women said that's what they wanted, and men ran to salons to wax their body hair and primp and mousse every morning to look like a well-manicured, in touch with his feminine side wuss bag. What happened? Women started whining because all the real men were gone.
Because in 2011, France banned face covering, meaning that 2,000 Muslim women were targeted.
Well, shit. Now you're defending Islam. I thought we established before that you were opposed to it. I'm fucking confused. Pick a side.
Because too many people seem to think that no means convince me.
That's because sometimes, for some women, it does. Other times, it doesn't. Look, if you want men to understand you, just convince women to be consistent and make some fucking sense.
Because in June this year, 102 people were attacked in Orlando at a gay club.
By a Muslim terrorist, honey. You're confusing me again. Are you with Islam or against it? Because you're riding both sides of the fence here.
Because, surely enough, not all men are rapists, but all men are potential ones.
Okay, I'll admit, the first time I heard this, I initially was infuriated. But rather than just scream profanities at you, let's do this instead. All women are potential murderers. All children are potential thieves. See how easy it is to demonize everyone when you throw the word potential into a sentence? I mean, all of those things are technically true, aren't they?
Because I've gotten several unwanted dick pics. Oh, I felt like I was about to puke there.
Nice fake drama there, but I doubt it. You ever heard the story about the boy who cried wolf?
Because a married woman is called Mrs. instead of Miss, while a man is still called Mr. It's almost like once a woman gets married, her whole identity is changed.
Well, I gotta give you credit for this one. Holy fuck. I haven't heard that one before. I didn't realize that was such a huge feminist issue. I have to say, though, on a scale from 1 to 10, I couldn't even manage a 0.1 worth of caring about this one. Call yourself Miss for the rest of your life. I couldn't fucking care less.
Because I want to be known for the content of my character and not for my gender.
Fair enough. How's moron strike you?
Hey, moron! Fucking moron!
Thank you, Undoomed.
Because feminism is considered a controversial topic.
That's a reason to be a feminist? So, you're a Nazi too, then, I assume. I mean, that's a controversial topic also.
Because women of color are barely represented.
I assume you mean in governments. You know why? Not many women of color choose to enter politics. Damn those dirty, rotten men for not forcing women to do shit they don't want to do.
Because 1 in 4 women in England and Wales will experience domestic violence in their lifetime.
I put the links for this in the first video, so look for it there, but different studies show that women initiate that violence anywhere from 40 to 70% of the time. 2 links at the bottom there in the first video for this. One says 40%, the other says 70%. Given the disparity, I feel safe in guessing that it's probably around 50% at least of the time that women initiate the domestic violence. So, again, damn those fucking men for hitting back when a woman's trying to beat the shit out of him. Don't they know they're just supposed to stand there and take it like men?
I'm a feminist because I'm not a fucking object.
Repeat. We've been over this already.
Because women are taught that in order for them to love their body, a male has to like it.
Sounds like you've got another women's education issue again. Maybe women should stop teaching each other that stupid shit.
Because there has never been a woman president in the United States.
True. And do you know why that is? Do you have any idea how many women have run for president? I'm guessing not. It's kind of hard to elect one when barely any of them even bother to run for the office, isn't it?
And this is the first year that the Democrats or the Republicans even have a woman as a presidential candidate.
Same as before. Hard to nominate one when they choose not to run.
Because of our heteronormativity and cisnormativity in today's society.
For fuck's sakes. You know why those things are considered normal? Because they are the norm. You fucking idiot. LGBT, etc. are a pretty tiny minority of people. They are exceptions, not the norm.
Because I always have to add, not all men, so people won't get greedy. Which I don't really understand, because if you've never sexually assaulted anyone, made a joke about like rape, or never objectified a woman, then why are you offended? I'm clearly not talking about you. It's not like I'm sitting here and being like, oh, David over there and Sam over there. I'm talking about you guys. You as individuals. You are horrible people. Like, I've never said that. No one says that.
No one says that. And yet...
I'm saying men because men in groups are the ones that attack, harass, assault, murder. The list goes on and on.
You just said that. Now, I wonder why men get upset when you say men do this or that. It's a fucking puzzle, isn't it?
I'm a feminist because today's society tells men that they are not allowed to show feelings or cry, because that's considered feminine.
No, they aren't. Look, Men don't cry as much as women do. It's not that we're trying to be tough and manly, it's just that our emotions aren't expressed in the same way yours are. Ever see a man cry at a wedding? I haven't. Yet women do that shit all the time, and they're supposed to be happy. We just don't react the same way to the same level as women do.
Because growing up, my school only educated me about big and important males of history.
Again with your school. You evidently go to the world's shittiest school. I learned about important historical women in mine. Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Betsy Ross, Clara Barton, Susan B. Anthony, Emily Dickinson, Amelia Earhart, Eleanor Roosevelt. Shit, that's just off the top of my head. I'm sure if I bothered to think about it, there's probably more. Guessing you didn't go to an American school though, so probably just your school again.
Because everything I say in this video would be taken way more seriously if one of my male friends were sitting here.
If this is how you act in your real life, I'd bet you don't have any male friends, but no, it really wouldn't. I'd be calling him a fucking moron too.
Because we aren't taught in school that today's gender equality is an issue.
Because schools are supposed to teach facts, not fifis.
Because it is 2016 and I still cannot go to a festival without being sexually harassed.
Bullshit. I don't believe it. This may come as a shock to you, but believe it or not, you're not that great. Men can resist you.
Because Robin Thicke made a song encouraging rape and violence, and people liked it, and they still do.
Okay, I had to look this up too because I've never heard it. But I read the lyrics, and you know what's weird? Sounds an awful lot like a guy who desperately wants some chick to get with him. Desire, sure, but he's asking her to. Practically begging her to. Not forcing her to. Doesn't sound anything like a rape song to me.
Because either I'm wearing way too much makeup or I'm not wearing enough.
That's up to you. You can look good or look like a clown. Don't care one way or the other. Besides, I thought we established earlier that you're wearing that makeup for yourself, remember? Not for boys. So I guess the only person being really critical about how much you wear is you. If you're scolding yourself for wearing too much or too little, you might need a therapist, sugar.
Because between 65 to 85% of all sexual assaults are not reported.
You know, I always have a problem with these numbers because of one tiny little thing. If they aren't reported, how the hell do we know whether they happened at all? Further, how do we know it was actually sexual assault other than someone said so? Which evidently they didn't because they didn't report it. And they couldn't possibly be lying, could they? I'm sorry, but this is nothing more than a scare number to me. It means nothing. It's the gold standard for feminism, though, because it's unfalsifiable. Trouble is, it's unprovable, too.
Because I'm sick of always having to walk around with the keys in my hand.
Then take a self-defense class. Being cautious and prepared is never a bad thing, but this is hardly a uniquely female thing. Men are violently attacked more than women. We don't seem to wander around scared out of our fucking minds, do we?
Because some men get offended by being called a girl, as if that's like the biggest insult ever.
Oh, the irony. You've spent the last 15 minutes or so telling us how girls are weak, emotional, scared little flowers, and you wonder why men are insulted when you call them that? Another fucking puzzle.
I'm a feminist because I'm scared to put up this video.
Putting your opinion out there online is scary for anyone. You open yourself up to criticism, scorn, and trolling. Feminism isn't going to fix that.
Because women are discriminated at work for being or being able to get pregnant.
I love how this is always a one-sided thing with you feminists, because if you think about it, men are the ones being discriminated against when a woman takes off for a pregnancy. One of us has to do our work and yours, but we still get paid the same. But yeah, I know, it's all one-sided and the poor women's.
Because girls who are raising their voices often get threatened.
Bullshit. Do you know how many times I've seen a woman go batshit crazy? A lot. You know how many times there's been any consequences for it? Never.
I'm a feminist Because feminism is about equality.
Repeat another. Just can't come up with 100, can you?
Because my teacher always tells me and my girlfriends off when we're being too loud, but never even points a finger at the boys when they're literally screaming on the other side of the classroom.
Bullshit. Don't believe it. Do you know who got in the most trouble at my school for being disruptive? Me. I was a little terror, I'll admit that, and I promise you, teachers set me straight more than once.
Because there has to be an International Women's Day for us to feel appreciated.
Yeah, right. Because the poor oppressed women's are just so unappreciated the rest of the year. Do you live on Earth or is it some alien planet? I mean, that might explain why your school was evidently so shitty.
Because 1 in 6 American women have been the victim of an attempted or completed rape.
Nope. As pointed out in numerous places when these numbers were published, you can only get there by redefining rape, which the surveys you referenced did by including unwanted acts of sex. The key difference here being that these acts did not have to be forced, meaning consent may have occurred, but the person consenting didn't really want to. That's not rape, that's regret. That's sleeping with someone, then deciding that maybe you really didn't want to. Now, I wonder why there's such a big, shocking number.
I'm a feminist because I'm a woman. And why would I not be on my own side and stand up for my own rights and opportunities?
Uh-oh. I think the feminists are going to be after you after that one. You kind of just let the cat out of the bag there, dear. Feminism's supposed to be for everyone, remember?
So I really want to start a discussion. I really want everyone who's watching this video to comment something down below about feminism. So whether you like feminism or you don't, tell me why.
Well, I think I've pretty much done just that with the last 2 videos. But anyone else out there watching, there you have it. She asked for your comments. So let's take a look at what happened when she got the comments that she asked for. Yep. That conversation didn't last very long, did it? Now, I know she says that it's because people were calling her names and telling her to go die, and I can pretty much bet that there were probably some of those comments in there because this is, after all, the internet, and trolls will be trolls. But I suspect she didn't much enjoy the other comments critical of her points either. I don't mean to ad hom this girl, but we've seen that sort of thin skin from other feminists all too often, so I can't help suspecting this might be the case here as well. Not saying she did, just saying I suspect that's the case. Very different statement. Unfortunately, since the comments are turned off, I can't really look into it myself, so I'm just left with my suspicions. You can take that however you like. Anyway, that's it for this time, folks. Link to the original is in the description on the first video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.